Slide. Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy 1 Million Cups Wednesday. How's everyone doing this morning? Good. Well, hey, my name's Tyler DeMars. I'm with the North Dakota Small Business Development Centers. I'll be your MC this morning. First off, how many people have never been to 1 Million Cups before? How many first-timers this morning? Couple. Okay, great to see you. Hope you got your mug out there. Hope to see you back again. You might be asking yourself, coming to 1 Million Cups, what is this program? What are we doing here every week? So 1 Million Cups is a networking and professional development program we put on every Wednesday morning here at Dakota Stage Theater. Each week we're putting a different small business owner, sometimes event organizers, sometimes nonprofit leaders, pretty much anybody doing interesting or work we want to highlight in Bismarck, Mandan, the surrounding areas. We're giving them the stage for the morning, asking them to tell their story, talk about the vision they might have for their organization or what they're trying to do, critically some of the challenges they might be facing, and then we're going to do a Q&A session with them as a community, kind of acting as a community sounding board or advisory board for them, asking critical questions, making recommendations, hopefully making connections for them. Basically, we want to kind of create a network around them where we're giving them the best chance to succeed that we can. So the question we're asking every week is, can we change the face of our startup community here in Bismarck, Mandan around 1 million cups of coffee? Before we get started, special thanks to all of our sponsors. These organizations write checks, might give some of their people's time, sometimes donate a piece of tech to our AV booth up there. You can see on our Grande slide here, we have plenty of room for more sponsors if anybody's interested in jumping on board. But if you appreciate 1 Million Cups and you know folks from these organizations, please let them know you're grateful for their support for our program. And to all our in-kind sponsors as well. All right, so as I said, after Trevor presents this morning, we'll do our Q&A session. So as Trevor is talking about Patriot Nutrition, make sure we're thinking about what questions you want to ask him. Where do you want him to dig in a little deeper? Are you curious about something that you want more clarification on? So hopefully we can have a really good Q&A session once Trevor's done presenting. Every week, of course, we do our community announcements, and we're celebrating every day with National Day Calendar. Appropriately, a healthy option today on Patriot Nutrition Day. National Oatmeal Nut Waffles Day is March 11th, so a very specific national day today. Looking at this, and I do waffles for, especially when my kids were younger, the differentiating factor between a waffle and a pancake is a waffle just has more butter and sugar, giving it that crisper outside texture that you get with a waffle. So this is a little healthier option. At our house, we do protein waffles or protein pancakes. We can do waffles or pancakes with them, but it's just cottage cheese, eggs, and rolled oats. You blend that together, it makes a really nice pancake mix. Put a little honey and cinnamon there, give a little sweetness, put a little peanut butter on top. Another delicious option. But Oatmeal Nut Waffles Day today, so happy Oatmeal Nut Waffle Day on March 11th. Okay, a couple of community announcements here. This one I'll take care of. Bismarck Public Library has a library tour coming up Saturday, March 14th. So if you're not familiar with our library, there's some history in that building. It's a large space. There's lots of little nooks and crannies in there. They've been doing these tours for about a year now and have gotten really good feedback on them. So they're somewhat exclusive in that it's limited to 8 adults and you have to register for it. There's that QR code in the bottom right you can scan if you're interested. But what the tour does is highlights everything that the library has to offer, because it's not just books. There's plenty of other services there that it has to offer, and then gives some history of the building, shows some of the behind the curtain things that happen at the library as well. So if you got some time on Saturday and looking for something to do, this is a good option for you. Next up, we have this Golden Handcuffs seminar coming up. Markel, unfortunately, is under the weather this morning, so he couldn't be here to make this announcement, excuse me. So this is a Golden Handcuffs seminar, March 19th, 2026, talking about just financial advising. So these are 4 different financial advising professionals giving a kind of a range of perspectives on approaches you can take to planning for retirement and planning for how to make your money work for you. There's some QR codes you can see down there on the bottom. You can RSVP there if you'd like to join this one. All right, now the chamber. No, are you? Oh, sorry.
Hi, my name's Tate. I work over at the Bismarck Mandan Chamber EDC as the event manager, and we have opened up nominations for our 20 under 40 program. So if you know anyone in the business community who is making big moves within Bismarck Mandan, please nominate them to be considered for 20 under 40, and they will be celebrated at Celebrate Bismarck Mandan in September 24th, which I know is a very long time away, but the sooner we can get nominations, the better we can recognize these people.
Thank you. Oh,
This one's also me. So annual dinner is coming up on April 16th, which is a month away. So we have our annual dinner coming up. We celebrate all the big people in the business community, and we ask them to come out and network with each other. We celebrate the things that we're doing in the Chamber EDC and talk about what we'll be doing within the next year. So that's on April 16th at the Bismarck Event Center, and you're welcome to look for more information by scanning that QR code or reaching out to Frankie if you're interested in purchasing a table.
thank you. At first glance at this slide, I thought Brenda was behind that drum kit. I thought, gosh, Brenda's talented. I didn't know she's gonna pull some Phil Collins for us there, but. All right, any more community announcements this morning? Okay, if none, and if you or anybody you know ever has an announcement, that email right there, 1mcbizman701@gmail.com is the place to send it to. We'd love for you to be here to make that announcement, but if you give us some details in that email, of course, we're happy to make it on your behalf. So. All right, well, on to our main event this morning. So Trevor Hendrickson has been part of our community for at least a couple of years now, a frequent attendee, and finally gets a chance to take the stage this morning. He has Patriot Nutrition, and he's going to tell us the story of what he has going on there. So let's welcome Trevor to the stage.
Guys ever just get like really crazy nervous like immediately before you go up and like, man, I should have peed beforehand. But we're going to run with it. So I'm Trevor Hendrickson from Patriot Nutrition. As Tyler said, you guys already know that. So, and I want to make sure, can I get a thumbs up you can hear me in the back? Okay, because it's weird when you're on stage, you can't always hear yourself. So, oh look it, there's 2 slides. We get double there. Okay, this is the one I wanted. So I found what Patriot Nutrition is, a nutrition club, where we do meal replacement protein shakes and energizing power teas and one-on-one coaching, which obviously we're going to talk a little bit more about. So I walked into Nutrition Club as myself. I was managing a self-serve dog wash for a place out in Fargo, and I loved working with animals. Like, who in here is a dog person? Anybody? Okay, you are my people. Okay, cat people, also, you are my people, because now I am now a cat person as well. So I loved working with animals every single day. It was great. There was a couple of things about that career I did not love. One, I was missing out on life because it was retail. I was working all the time. I was missing out on family events. And most unimportantly, I was being micromanaged. And that was one thing that I absolutely disliked. I walked into a nutrition club. As you can see, that is literally me right before I got started on my own nutrition program. So I'm down over 40 pounds in the 15 years that I've been in business. And my sponsor showed me the business opportunity that there was behind nutrition. And I found that I was like, great, now the only person micromanaging me is my wife. So, and that one I'm totally okay with. Okay, she's not too mean. Okay, but Patriot Nutrition, our mission is to make a difference in the community, to help people with a nutrition, lifestyle, and an active thing, and also we're having people have a place to belong to. Okay, because that was something that really. We're going to get a little heavy, and it's okay. Are you guys okay with that, if I'm just very real with you all? Okay. So when I was 18, a senior in high school, my father was killed in the war in Iraq. And at that moment, I lost, like, my person. And I instantly kind of realized I didn't have a place that I really belonged to. And so when I moved back from Fargo into Bismarck to open up a nutrition club, I wanted to have a place where people belonged, no matter what your background was, no matter what your beliefs were, and that is a big mission behind that. We just paired nutrition and a healthy, active lifestyle along with that as well. All right, heavy stuff, moving on. So we did partner with the #1 nutrition company in the world. Okay, there are all different kinds of facts, which you guys can read, but we can also go over it if you want. Okay, I mean, we have over 1 million distributors. I love that we have over 300 scientists creating our products, so that it's not me and my wife in the back room creating stuff. So you know what is in the product is on the label, and what's on the label is in the bottle. Okay, that is something that I am very, very adamant about. Because in now today's age, you really should know what you're putting into your body. And sometimes out there with other products and stuff, you might not be sure what you're putting into your body. So like I said, we help people with their nutrition with the #1 active nutrition lifestyle company in the world. And then we do weight loss challenges. These are usually either 6 weeks or 21 days. We've mixed around with different kinds, but in those weight loss challenges, we teach people about the importance of protein, also the importance of staying hydrated, importance of working out. We teach people about digestive health, because did you know about 17% of Americans do not get enough fiber? Okay. Actually, no, I take that back. Average American gets 17 grams of fiber, and 70% of Americans have digestive issues. Sorry, I sometimes flip that. It's like verbal dyslexia. I don't know. And then, like I said, we also do one-on-one wellness coaching as well. And like I said, with my story about having a place to belong, we are huge on community events at Patriot Nutrition. So our most recent one was bingo night. This was our most fun. We got to teach people about some of our products. And honestly, we just gave away a bunch of prizes, which was fantastic, because the company that we partnered with is fantastic at swag. It's almost as good as 1 million cups, but there is so much in my basement. I looked at my wife and I go, bingo night. We're doing all of our prizes. So there's shaker cup scales and all different kinds of things. And also, too, we paired that with products. So, and that was a fun, free event for everybody, because, in case anybody in here with like a gambling license thing, we didn't violate any laws. We gave it away all for free, okay? All right, and then we also do game night. So we do that on the first Wednesday of every night, where we play board games. Our most recent one is actually photoed here. One of our clients, she brought in this weird duck abduction game. It was way over my head for that late at night, but it was a lot of fun, and everybody comes in. I think our most favorite game was, have you guys played like Horrible Therapist? If you haven't, you should definitely check that game out. And that was a game I got introduced to because of game night from a client that brought it in. Hilarious game, but I digress. We also do hobby night, which is on the second Wednesday of every month. And if you know your calendar well enough, that's tonight. So if you want something to do from 6 to 7:30 tonight, and if you're a crocheter, a knitter, the only thing I ask is, if you are a person that does like woodworking as your hobby, I don't want to clean up all your sawdust. So we say the most portable hobby. Also, if you're a Lego person, Legos are totally cool. You might even get some help from me if you need some help, okay? So those are some of the other events we do. We also do workouts on Saturday mornings from 9 to about 9:45. And then we have other different parties and events. We do like a spa party, because we have a whole skincare line, so you can do the whole mint clay mask and everything. We'll only put photos on social media if you approve it, okay? And we do all different kinds of other shake parties and education parties about our products and everything. Then also, too, we love to give back. Okay? Like giving back to the community, and like I grew up in Bismarck, Mandan. I moved away to go to college. I've been doing this business for 15 years, and this community has given us so much that we do everything that we can to give back, and like want to make a difference in the world and obviously in the community. So part of my mission is really partnering with other companies and other organizations that make an impact with other people. So everybody is touched by many different things in life. So of course we have Brave the Shave, so helping child cancer. That was one of our very first fundraisers that we did that really kicked off stuff. The 31/8 project to help stop human trafficking, that was a fantastic one. And most recently, Soul 57 that we partnered with on Giving Hearts Day. This one, as you guys will probably figure out here real quick, hit me really right in the heart, because they help with youth grief. So anywhere from kindergarten all the way up to ages 24, if there was immediate death in the family, they help with all that grief and support and everything, which that was something that I wish I had when I was a senior in high school. I mean, they're only been around about 2 or 3 years. So this also became a new, beautiful partnership that we're going to be doing a lot of things with them, because their mission just speaks to my soul. And of course, my dad also, a lot of people don't always know this, but he was working in the school district. So teachers also hold a close place in our heart. And also, too, part of our name is we are literally right across the street from Century High School. In case you didn't know where we're at, that's where we're at. So that's also a little bit of our name, but also our pride and our patriotism and all of our fallen heroes. But we love to give back to teachers, so we do this every single month. So we do our Teacher Appreciation Week, which also is Nurses Week. I know I don't have any photos of nurses, but don't worry, we do not forget about them as well. But we give back, and all these teas are all sponsored by local businesses. So some of you guys might have even sponsored some of these teas, and I appreciate that so much. In fact, I know there is a couple that I have sponsored in here. So this is something that we do every single month, and we keep expanding. Every single year. You know what? I could do it every single month, though. I might need some help, though, okay? So this is something we do every single year where we get all of the staff, not just the teachers, because it takes a whole army to run a school, in case you don't know. So we make sure the lunch ladies, the janitors, and everybody, all the support staff, is all get caffeinated. Okay, so we do that every single year, and we expanded. Last year we added BHS, and then this year my wife has some big dreams to actually do every single school in Bismarck Mandan, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Like, so I might be calling on some of you guys later for some help with that one. All right. And I know I should have put this in the community announcements. I apologize, but I'm just going to do it now because I figured I'd just come up once. So we do have a couple of events coming up. Our next one, we do a customer appreciation day, which most of you guys already know a little bit about, where we have a special combo, a special tea, a special shake, and a special protein balls. And this one is going to be St. Patty's Day themed. I know it's not on St. Patty's Day on the 17th, but we're going to do it on the 20th. It's going to be a great time. If you don't see me, you might need to check the back room because I talk like this all day long, and my wife might have murdered me. She does love micromanaging me, but my accents sometimes get her a little annoyed. So if you don't see me, just hope that I'm out on a delivery, because when we do have a delivery, she's like, you need to go. And then we are doing a citywide Easter egg hunt. So we are hiding at least 20 eggs. We might expand to more as more businesses jump in. We're hiding these Easter eggs in public places around a Bismarck area, so there's going to be little vouchers in there for gift cards for businesses that have donated. We have room for about 7 more businesses to jump in with that. This is going to be our first annual year of it, so this is something that we're going to do annually. An idea I got from some friends that have a different nutrition club in a different state, and they said it was absolutely amazing. The first year they did 20. The next year, it was such a big hit, they did 100 eggs. So we're going to start with 20 instead of going with 100. So maybe next year we'll do 100, or maybe we'll go with 150. So everybody always wants to know, like, what are some challenges? I will tell you, over the 15 years that I've been in business, a couple of challenges that I've had is honestly just nutrition education. Because how many of you guys have seen an Instagram reel, Facebook, or if you're on the TikToks or any kind of social media, something about somebody telling you how to lose weight or eat better, healthier? Okay. There's a few of you. I'm surprised. I'd like to talk to you because you might be the people that don't have social media, which kudos, okay? But that has been just kind of an obstacle because there is just some crazy information out there, and sometimes the information that you might hear might not also match with what your goals are. So that's just been a huge thing of education of like how much fiber you should get. And people are like, oh, I don't need any fiber. Or, like I'm a firm believer that no matter if you can drink caffeine before you go to bed, that it is going to affect you chemically in your brain, that it does affect your sleep, even if you do sleep well. So please don't come at me, you coffee lovers, okay? But there is just some science that backs some of those things. The other thing is assumptions. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 15 years right here in our own community. I did have another nutrition club before Patriot Nutrition because we've been at Patriot Nutrition for 6 years. We had another place called Luna Fusion. Some of you might have met me there. But also people just assume, like they see these drinks and people assume they're like, oh, it's loaded with sugar. Oh, because it's so sweet. There was one time, and I'm going to be very clear with you guys, we do not do this, okay? There's one time somebody's like, oh, you put ice cream in your shakes. Now, once again, I'm going to be very clear. There is no ice cream in the shakes. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you guys, is there ice cream in my shakes? Okay, good. Now I've educated you. When I heard that one, I was like, no, they taste like ice cream, but it's not in there. Like, that would just be crazy. So shakes, 200 calories, 24 grams of protein, 30 of your daily nutrition, okay? And then our teas have less than 1 gram of sugar in it and 50 calories with 200 milligrams of caffeine, and we can vary that. So just that education piece has been a really big opportunity for just educating people. Along with also everybody loves a quick fix. Are you with me? Say yes? Yes. Okay. Also, even me. Weight loss is not a quick fix. You want consistency to give you a sustainable weight loss, okay? So consistency over time equals results. And that's whether it's business, whether it's weight loss, no matter what it is. Consistency over time equals the result that you want. So just kind of teaching people that, like, hey, slow and steady weight loss is actually the way to go and how you're going to keep it off, which is about 0.5 pound to 1 pound a week, okay? Which is a healthy weight loss. And then just what we see for the future, we are growing our team. We want to make a more and more impact in our Bismarck-Mandan community and, in fact, across the whole state. So like I said, we're partnered with the #1 nutrition company in the world. We have a proven system to teach people a business and how to impact other people's lives, and we are just looking to grow. And I probably talked way too fast, so I'm sorry, Tyler, but now it's time for the Q&A, but I would love to remind you guys to make good choices.
Oh, and Ross is back this morning. Hi, Ross. All right.
Well, I will say one last thing. This is actually what you see when you walk out of our door. And so since we are close to the high school, we always tell the kids, make good choices. Sometimes we have to say make safe choices because there's a few of them that are like, I ain't making a good choice.
It's timely for me. My son was at his freshman year at UND. He went to Arizona this week for spring break. Him and a group of his buddies got an Airbnb. So I had to say, hey, make good choices this week. Well, we'll see how he does with that. But
as long as they're safe, then it's all.
Yeah, exactly. Make good memories too. And yeah. All right, Ross is on the mic. So if you have a question, please raise your hand, and Ross will get that mic in your hand. Trevor, first, I didn't know the part about losing your dad, that was part of your story, and thank you for sharing that, and thank you for your family's sacrifice, and it's just wonderful to see how you've turned that into something very positive for Bismarck Mandan community, so thank you.
Thank you.
As you were looking at starting this, you said you had a previous tenure with another, was that a franchise that you were with? Remind me of the name.
So it was Luna Fusion, so that was still me. And with our business, we have the opportunity to open up a nutrition club where because what we're partnered with Herbalife. So we are, it's the #1 nutrition company in the world. I've said that way too many times. But they have a set of rules that look franchisee, but it's not a franchise. So we don't pay royalties or anything, but there are some guidelines of certain things that, like do's and don'ts. Yeah. And then they're like, you could do this, and then this is how you can impact the community and make a difference. So some people look at it and it looks franchisee, but it's all the benefits without all the cons, is kind of how
Sure.
they explained it in the business side. So that was still me. It was just, we got started because we had a Siberian Husky, and her name was Luna. And she actually had allergies, and so we paid really close attention to what she was eating. And you saw my before picture. Me and my wife were going on dates at IHOP at midnight. So that's kind of how I got to that location of where I was there. And I was like, wait, we're paying more attention to what our dog is eating than what we're doing. So then that got us on the health and nutrition aspect. And my wife always wanted to move home to be closer to her family. And on a drive back, actually, because I wanted an orange banana shake and a raspberry tea. And I'm like, there is no place in Bismarck, Mandan to get that. And that's when it was just like, oh, I could finally own my own business. Because if you talk to my wife, she said, I think the count was up to like about 37 of good ideas that I had of businesses I wanted to open. And this is the one that stuck.
Yeah, that is, I can come up with ideas all day, but executing on something, moving something forward is always the challenge. Ironically, I have a cat named Luna who also has allergies that we have to buy really expensive cat food for, and we watch what we eat too, but we have a cat, we have to pay very close attention to what she's eating as well. But
I would suggest putting protein powder in your protein shakes, or your waffles too, by the way.
Okay.
I know a guy.
Okay, so you're with Herbalife. You said they have not necessarily branding specs. When you say it's not a franchise, is that the main difference? Is that you have agency to develop your own brand, but like with the coaching and consulting, is that where their kind of guardrails are more in place?
So their guardrails, I would say, come more in like kind of like the advertising kind of a thing. And some things like I can't post pricing on our social media. So like that's like a big rule. There was one time, this was a really funny story. We actually had to have like curtains in our door because you couldn't look into the window and see that it was an Herbalife Nutrition Club, because it's a nutrition club, so it was designed to be like invitation only. Over the 15 years that I've been in business, that has evolved. So if you drive by Patriot Nutrition, you'll notice there's not window coverings. But one person even thought we were a strip club because we always had bumping music and we had window coverings. That was, like I said, it's about education and the assumptions that people have. So when I heard that one, I too was on the floor laughing. And I'm like, yeah, the pole's in the back. Like, you get your shake and the show's in back.
That would make your location decision a lot more questionable too if you're right across from the high school.
It would.
But yeah. Yeah, well, I like what you're doing much better. But Ross, you got
So you talked a little bit about what you did before and how you started this. But how did you tell you a little bit about your origin story with Herbalife specifically?
I mean, I was being micromanaged at the self-serve dog wash out in Fargo. And it's even funny, even after I opened the business, he still emailed me and he's like, hey, could you come back? And I'm like, you couldn't pay me enough. And he even still continued to ask my sponsors and stuff. But I was there. I had some, I finally had some downtime and I was looking for other careers. So I went into a staffing facility because I was like, I needed out, like, and as quickly as I could. So, and I was also a college dropout. So I went to college after my dad died, just kind of pursuing business. Some people will come at me because I am one class away. It makes my grandma super happy. One of these days I'll figure it out and do it online. Some of my friends now, I see they're like, you're one class, get it. But anyways, so I went to a staffing company and there was a nutrition club in Fargo that was right next to them. So I walked in and I was like, man, it was 25th Street Fusion. It's no longer there. They moved locations. And I was like, man, I heard a little bit of buzz about this, but I knew nothing what it was. Also a retired martial artist. So like, as you could see, I put on some weight after that. And I walked in, and the guy kind of talked, and I was like, what is this? Give me, like, what's going on here? What did I just walk into? And he explained, like, the shake, the tea, and the aloe, and it was very simple back then. Like, you saw very colorful teas that we do now. This was, like, we just call it brown tea now, because it was just, like, our tea straight from the bottle with, like, some warm water. If you wanted some flavoring in it, then we added our apple fiber to it. And he explained that, and what got me really was he pulled out his driver's license, and he was probably like over 200 pounds. He was like probably 250, and Santa, he was built like Tyler. So I was like, okay, so like you made some changes in your life. This was obviously the change. And my wife was doing some other weight loss stuff. I've seen her struggle, and so like I tried the shake, and I had a key lime pie shake was my very first shake, and I was like, I'll be honest, not my favorite shake right off the bat. The second shake was my favorite, was the orange banana. And it kept me full, which I didn't expect it to. I expected to go through a drive-through immediately after that. But it kept me full throughout the rest of the day, and I was like, cool, like, let's go. So then the next day, I took my wife, and then she got hooked. And then as we continued to go in, my sponsor eventually heard, like, oh, he is unhappy in his career. We should probably show him the business. And I was the first one out of our group of, we call the change makers, to actually open up a nutrition club. It was a little crazy because, you know, I worked a little bit in her nutrition club, and then I moved 3 hours away, and I figured out most of everything kind of just with her being like, hey, you should try this, you should do this. And, you know, sometimes it takes a little while to get that last message in. But when it clicks, it clicks.
It's funny how a little protein, little fiber can keep you satiated for the day. And I know for me, if I'm having lunch, and especially you're trying to eat lunch quickly, and if you're trying to grab anything at a C-store or wherever, it can be hard to find something that isn't going to just make you feel like a pile of crap for the afternoon, right? Like
Exactly.
that's the biggest thing when you're looking for something quick. So that's what I appreciate about Patriot Nutrition. But we have a question over here.
Trevor, can you talk about like the biggest success you've seen, and then maybe like the biggest thing that you've tried that didn't land as well as you wanted it to?
I mean, biggest success I've seen is just the overall weight loss of my clients. I have a couple of clients that have lost over 100 pounds, and it's just the consistency of them making changes in their lives. I've also helped other people open up their own nutrition clubs in town, and those have been the things of where it's not so much that it's not like business, like money in their pocket success, but seeing like their time freedom. Like my brother-in-law is able to pick up his kids every single day. And that is something that like seeing people change their lives and change like their mission of what they want to do and how it can affect their lives. That's what I view the biggest success. Biggest things that didn't succeed. I would need to think on that one. We did try doing a book club. That one didn't succeed so well, but that one I'm going to take full responsibility on, and it was about promotion on that one. So that one was on me. But you know, sometimes you try things and they work out. Like the game night and hobby night, like was something we're like, let's just do it because we wanted to build that community. And sometimes it takes a while to pick up. I mean, when we first started weight loss challenges, it was like me and my wife. It was just like me and Tyler on stage. So like, all right, so what are you struggling with this week? And coaching with your spouse is something that also we have learned. I don't coach her. I'm like, you gotta coach with another person on the team because I'm with her all the time, so she doesn't need to hear some of that stuff from me. And I also don't receive it well from her. So coaching your spouse, that's probably my biggest not successful.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, for any husbands or male partners in the room, just listen. Don't fix things all the time. That's I struggle with that too. But yeah, right. So you do a lot of community events, right? And the book club was part of that. How, like, and you doing those over time, like what kind of runway do you typically need on those community events before they start getting traction and start kind of providing some ROI?
Really vary on the event, but I would say like about a month at least of doing it consistently. I mean, it took us a little while to get weight loss challenges. What really changed our weight loss challenges was actually when my mom came into the business. She had such a passion from them, and there are lessons that she taught me that I still use to this day to my clients. Like I mean, how many of you guys are busy? Like everybody, right? Like she taught like all your weight loss clients should have like a little like emergency snack bag. So you should have a couple of protein bars and all your things. So some of those things is what we learned, and I realized that wasn't your question, but yeah, it takes a little bit of time, and sometimes there's just that missing piece.
But I think it does, because what you're really looking for is frequent engagement points with your community and with your clients, and those community events give you just opportunities to have those engagement points where you can give tidbits like that, right? Yeah. My go-to, by the way, is an apple and a tin of sardines when I'm in a hurry. That's the go-to snack.
Do you put the sardines on anything?
I sometimes sometimes I'll put them over a salad,
Okay.
but usually just straight out of the tin. And yeah. Yeah,
Such good protein, though.
it is. Yeah, no, it's a nutritional powerhouse. Yeah,
It's that great calorie to protein.
yeah, my office mates, Mark's in here. He can sometimes smell sardines from my office. They really appreciate it. But Marlo,
I can't follow that. I'm sorry. No.
It's hard to follow
all right,
sardines.
taking us off the rails here. Sorry.
So I'm curious about expectations. So my expectations for me when it's National Lasagna Day, I'm going to eat lasagna or donut for Donut Day. I'm assuming your expectation when you're out in public is a little different than mine.
I wouldn't take that from him yet because I might have a clarifying question. So expectation of what I'm expecting from the community?
No,
or?
for yourself, you know, that persona, you're kind of becoming a little bit of a public person.
Oh.
So
Okay.
you know, if you're out eating, you know, and like I said, my expectation is that I have to eat donuts because it's Donut Day, right?
Well, I mean,
It's
I'm
a
not gonna
tough
lie.
gig, I'm telling you.
I'm a hard press to pass up a donut.
Okay,
Like, there's
okay.
So this, for me, I am a human being. I hope you can see that and understand that. I mean, you guys heard, obviously I have feelings, I have struggles too. And I love food. I'm very blessed that my wife is a fantastic cook, which is good because it's a skill that I don't have. But when I'm out in the community, I enjoy myself. I do pay attention to things though. Like, I'm not gonna have a donut all the time. And I will say, if I do have a donut, I'm gonna pair it with our high protein iced coffee. I'm also Italian, so I get lasagna. There's a thing like when I'm out on a day with my wife, I'm gonna get what I want to an extent. I've just shifted just because of what I've learned. I know the steak is gonna keep me more full than the pasta with a little bit of protein, but also too, it's some of those things of what I do beforehand. Because a lot of, in our weight loss challenge, one of my favorite classes to teach is actually the eating out. So of how you can reduce your calories while you're eating out and making healthier choices, which has become easier and easier with menus having the calories and the protein and everything on there. Also too, I have a little, I don't want to call it a cheat, but a little tool in my toolbox is it's called fat release. So it hangs on to some of the calories from fat so you don't absorb it. So that's a big one when I go out to eat. But I'm more mindful of what I eat. And especially when it comes to like drinking, I also do some stand-up comedy. So some of you might have heard that with Jordan that was in here. He got me into that. I'm one of the comics that very, very rarely drinks. Okay, hang on. We got a question. Did I answer your question, Marlon? Perfect.
think like you mentioned that the one tool to do macro tracking or whatever, but like ChatGPT is even a good tool now, where if you separate out your plate enough and really make clear separate out your veggies or your carbs or your proteins or whatever you have on your plate, and just take a picture of your plate. ChatGPT is remarkably good at figuring out the portion size and giving you calories and macros based off that. But yeah.
I actually didn't know ChatGPT could do that. The company did launch an app called Protocol that has an AI built into it that can do that and so much more.
Yeah, no, it's these tools are remarkable, but
yeah, AI is getting very crazy.
Yeah, no. So yeah, let's talk about you do a lot of community events. We know what Patriot Nutrition does generally. Haven't talked about the business model a lot though, Trevor. So just how you've built out your merchandising strategy. You have your shakes, you have your teas, you mentioned some health and beauty products. Like, how has that process gone? Does Herbalife kind of give you a menu of options and you're picking from that? Can you bring in other vendors from outside Herbalife? Can you speak into that a little bit?
Some of the vendors from outside Herbalife is obviously like I'll use different things for like the ingredients in the shake, but outside of like pairing with some other businesses, that's where some of those like cross promoting businesses comes in to play, where we kind of want to watch out for that. But Herbalife has, I can't even tell you how many products, but about 73% of them are designed for weight loss. There is obviously the skin, so all of that is available. They have all the pricing, the MSRP, and then we have different ways to sell it. So like if you wanted to get some protein powder to put into your protein waffles, we could do that. Like I have it on hand, we set that up, have a website where you can go and order everything onto. So those are kind of some of those menus on how we can retail the product. So it's, because I also do like one-on-one retailing the product, but also you just come in and you want a shake and a tea. Because I have some people that were like, I don't ever want to wash my blender. And I have some clients that are like, I don't even own a blender. So they don't have the ability to even make like the shake and tea out of their own house. So they just come in, do that. And then some of the other products that will advance their weight loss, they'll still take it home.
So if I'm understanding that correctly, I'm not familiar with the Herbalife model all that well, but so do they have to, like if they're getting products shipped to their home, you're saying that they can do that as well? Yeah. Okay, but they have to come through you, or can they go directly to Herbalife for that?
You have to go through a distributor.
You do? Okay,
Yep.
Gotcha. All right.
So, and the biggest thing with that is because we want to make a difference. Because, I mean, here's the deal. Have you ever gone to an XYZ department store and picked up a product? I mean, I'm assuming you've bought something. I mean, you've bought cottage cheese. Did the company from the cottage cheese company ever call you and go, hey, Tyler, hey, how'd you like that cottage cheese? How was the texture? What did you use it for? You used it for protein waffles. How did they turn out? And they're like, oh, they were horrible. It stuck to my waffle maker. I couldn't scrape it off, and then I just had protein clumps. I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb here that you've never had that experience.
I've never experienced that. No, yeah. No.
That is the difference that you would get with me. If you got our stuff to make your protein waffles at home, I would call you and be like, hey, did your stuff arrive? Okay, how many scoops did you use? Did you shake the canister before that? How did it turn out? What flavor did you use? Did it keep you full? How's your energy? So like, it's that high touch difference, and that is really what I find sets Herbalife apart and other businesses that have that high touch. I mean, you guys all know brands that have that high touch that really care and like reach out to you. It stands them apart.
Yeah, it's a relationship business. So yeah, you have your retail side where people can kind of sample what they can do with the Herbalife product line, but really your goal is to get them into some kind of weekly, bi-weekly, monthly order where they're getting that product shipped to them. Okay.
Yeah, this is why I've always told like people in the business, the Nutrition Club is a brick and mortar location to do an at-home based business in a professional space. Because especially if a lot of you I know don't know me, but if you were like, oh, I'm interested in losing 5 to 10 pounds, I'm like, oh, I got the most delicious orange banana protein shake. Come on over to my house. I got my stuff set up in my basement. How many of you are coming? I just want everybody to know not a single hand went up. Okay? But now if I invite you into Patriot Nutrition for the same thing, how many of you would be more open to coming? Okay. A few more hands went up than none.
Sure.
So that's kind of how I look at it. It's a sampling space, but also I can get daily profits as well. So, that's not bad because I do have rent to pay.
Yeah, well, in the brick and mortar commercial space certainly gives you some legitimacy. You're not just showing up in some guy's basement that you don't know.
Yeah.
what is your, as you've done your customer discovery and realizing like, what does your ideal client customer look like? Like, and has anything surprised you as kind of as expected, or what have you learned in?
It is such a wide range, and because the one thing is everybody needs nutrition. So and this is like some other business coaches have always been like, oh, you got to narrow it down. You got to have like that niche group, and I want to help everybody. So like me, I love working with like high school athletes also too, just because that area is also the area where I understand because of what I experienced. Those people need support. They want somebody to be in their corner. And obviously I know the nutrition and stuff, and I like helping everybody going on to get, scholarships and everything like that. But honestly, I get a lot of moms. I get a lot of busy moms that just want something that's good nutrition, that's healthy, and also too something that they're okay with giving their kids. And so I get a lot of moms, and those are my clients that I find tend to stick around the longest. So around my age or a little older. So.
Especially high school athletes, and I have 2 teenage boys, and they're like, they can just eat anything right now. They get 23, 24, they're up for a kind of an awakening as their metabolism slows down a little bit. So learning to eat healthy younger is really important. So and I guess as you've worked through, Ross, sorry,
I got one. You touched on coaching a little bit here and there. Can you dive a little bit deeper into that and tell us, like, how does that really work, and how involved can it be, or can it not be?
I mean, especially in the beginning, I take like that very hands-on, so very, very involved coaching. It starts out with a discovery session. So it starts out with, what are your goals? Like, is it weight loss? Is it muscle gain? Is it overall energy and fitness? Is it just better nutrition? Is it digestive health? Or are you just coming to like learn more about the skincare? So it starts out with, A, what are your goals? Second thing it always starts with is a body scan. So we have a bioimpedance scale, which some of you might even have at home, that tells you your body fat percentage, your muscle mass percentage, your body water, your resting metabolism, your body age, your bone mass, and your visceral fat. And so we take a look at all of those, and there is no shame. I am a very like a no shaming coach. It is what it is. And especially on the first one, when you step on the scale, everybody's like, oh, it's this. And I'm like, well, this is why we're here. Like, because we already clear, you might not be happy with some of those numbers. So our goal is to put a plan together to change those numbers. And then after that, when we get started, for about the first month, we're doing a weekly check-in where we do a new scan. Because in that month, you're going to need to make some tweaks. Recently, I had a client that was going for a pageant show. She did win a crown, but I won't name her because I want to be respectful of her. And she had a goal of losing some weight to go for her crown, which she did win. And we were meeting weekly, and weight loss it was okay. It was a little steady, but like both of us knew the dedication she was putting in because she was doing everything right. We had to change the type of protein that she was using. Once we changed that, it made a difference. So that's where that high touch makes a big difference, where I like to be very involved until we start to see the trend that we want to see, and then we go bi-weekly, monthly. It's kind of your choice, Ross, or it's the client's choice of what they would like to see for amount of frequency. But in the beginning, I'm really stern on weekly, and there are some clients that I will just always do weekly just because they need that consistency, and not everybody has somebody cheering them in their corner. Because when we do that scan, I don't even care if you're down like 0.1 pound of body fat. That's something we're celebrating, because people are like, oh, it's only 0.1 pound. And I'm like, well, do you want it back? And they're like, well, no. I've never had anybody say yes. So I'm like, so that it's good.
Go ahead, Ross.
Is there cost associated with additional coaching?
Nope. I just charge for the product that you're consuming. So my time comes with the product that you're consuming.
Awesome. So we talked about the coaching. Obviously, there's a subscription or ordering service that comes through this. But you're also running a brick and mortar business with staff and hopefully a lunch rush coming from Century High School. What has been the biggest operational challenge you faced, and kind of what are the lessons learned in that space?
Well, for me, it's been off and on, even over a 15-year career. It's been inventory, because every time, like, I mean, everybody is, I can't remember it, like, growth is painful. And when you have inventory of stuff like, we've had Chocolate Lovers Day, which that's code for we're almost out of vanilla protein. Which has happened, but then it has led to some of our Chocolate Lovers menu are now on our full-time menu because they got ordered so much. And just finding the right systems for inventory, and then also too having a team that we have a very co-owner mindset. So if you're behind the bar, your vote matters, even if it comes to controlling inventory. Even though sometimes I'm the most extroverted out of our team currently, so I'm a little boisterous, which is why you're seeing me and not my wife. I offered to her if she wanted to switch places. She said, heck no. But she's just not a public speaker, but she's a fantastic lady if you get to meet her. Like, we've tried inventory tracking sheets, different things, and I finally said, every time you empty a product, tear the label off, and when we have a designated area, and at the end of the week, we order everything that we've used. And then a little extra vanilla protein. Because we love Chocolate Lovers Days, but not as often.
Well, when you have a lot of SKUs in your inventory too, it's so hard to know what's going to go for a second. And if you have a lot of variability too, that there's no real rhyme or reason or trends, or those are harder to track. That works well. And getting your staff bought into it and understanding how important it is, because I'm sure they're disappointed when somebody's ordering a vanilla shake and they don't have any vanilla protein. But
Yep, I had a lady. She always got sugar cookie, and it was Chocolate Lovers Day. And she comes in and I'm like, I'll have my sugar cookie. And I'm like, well, Tina, it's Chocolate Lovers Day. She's like, great, I'll have sugar cookie. And we went back and forth about 3 times. And I went, no, I'm out of vanilla. I can make you a chocolate sugar cookie. And she goes, I'll take my tea. And then she went. She's like, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm like, good, because our order should be in then.
sure, yeah.
And it was.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Question over here.
Thank you, Trevor, for the presentation. I was just curious if your products accommodate any allergies, such as dairy-free, lactose-free, nuts, or anything.
I do have many of those options. So, because Herbalife has such a wide catalog of products, there are many different kinds of proteins. I have been able to, I'm trying to think if there's anybody I haven't been able to accommodate. So, out of all my clients that have had lactose issues, I have lactose-free options. If you're trying to stay away from soy, I have soy options. The only ones that sometimes I struggle with a full meal replacement shake is people that are doing extremely, extremely low sugars, which that's a whole nother conversation, because a full balanced meal, I'm a firm believer that does need sugar, because your brain does need some sugar to process and everything. But I think that sugar can come from healthy options and not a Twinkie. But we've been able to accommodate any different kinds of protein source in that. I'm very confident that if you come into our location, that we're going to find something that's going to keep you full, give you energy, and meet your dietary restrictions or your dietary beliefs and needs. We do have vegan options as well, which is some that I have currently been using, because honestly, I just think they're delicious.
Okay, talked a lot about what you do and what lessons learned. There's one question about looking forward. So let's say 3 years from now, Patriot Nutrition looks exactly like what you want it to look like you've achieved your vision. What does that look like, Trevor?
That looks like a lot more coaches behind the bar, working with people and making an impact that is just huge in the Bismarck-Mandan area, where you can see a nutrition club and it's well known, and you know that's the place where you go for weight loss, for energy, for community, to make friends, and just be a part of the community is really what I see. And just where we're, a big happy family, and there's just no judgment.
I love that you started a business really to grow a community, not necessarily to run a business, but you got to run a business as part of growing that community. Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, we are up to our last question of the morning, and Ross, if you wouldn't mind.
Thanks, Trevor, for your presentation, and thanks for what you're doing for our community, because the idea of that caring in the community is always positive, and your positive attitude really shows. So we appreciate that. And what can we as the 1 Million Cups community do to help you to continue to succeed?
Right now, the biggest thing that we are looking at expanding our organization and our team. So if you know anybody that is interested in a career in the health and wellness industry, is helping us get connected with them. And whether that's yourself or somebody you know, I mean, you've kind of seen and heard that we have a proven system to build a business using our nutrition products. And that's the biggest thing that I could use help with, is just meet new people.
Awesome, awesome. Well, hopefully you've met a lot of people as part of our community, Trevor. Appreciate you being part of our 1 Million Cups community. Thank you for getting on stage this morning. Thank you for everything you're doing at Patriot Nutrition. Let's hear it for Trevor one more time.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, well, coming up here at 1 Million Cups, we have next week inclusive staffing. Our friend Sheriff Sharma, who spoke in 2024, I believe. He's coming back to give an update on all the success and growth and wonderful things he's doing in inclusive staffing. Christy Dodd, who is in the room this morning, is up next. She's going to be talking about her work with Families Flourish ND. And then we have Olive Dexter Eyewear coming up on April 1st, so that's what we're looking at here. Here are our socials to stay in the loop of what we have going on at 1 Million Cups. If you or anyone you know is interested in presenting, that email up there is where to send presenter inquiries. We are booked through July in 2026, which is fantastic. But the stage is getting to be some valuable real estate. So if you want to get on the schedule, make sure you reach out. All right, that's all we have for you this week. So, hey, thank you everybody for coming. Let's make it a great rest of the week.